Ever had someone steal your business right out from under you and then make you pay them rent just to walk into your own property? Yeah, sounds like a joke, right? But let me tell you, that's exactly what happened to me. Ben Morrison, when my HOA president, Victoria Kensington, decided to pull the most outrageous backhanded move I've ever seen in my life. If you've ever dealt with someone who just oozes that I know better than you energy, you'll know what I mean. And if you haven't, well, just buckle up because you're about to get a front row seat. I've been running Morrison Storage since 2009, ever since my grandfather passed it down to me. To most people, it's just a bunch of metal doors and concrete, but to me, this place is a living, breathing memory, every single unit packed with someone's story. There's Mrs. Patterson, who keeps her late husband's antique radios here. Or Mr. Wilson, whose pride and joy is a rusted old Camaro he swears he'll fix one of these days. For 15 years, no drama, no complaints, just steady business and loyal customers. I mean, you don't make it that long without doing something right, you know. And then one Monday morning in sweeps Victoria. 7 a.m. sharp with a smile that's way too practiced and a knockoff designer purse swinging off her arm like she's about to judge a bake-off, not a storage yard. She introduces herself. I'm Victoria Kensington, your new HOA president, and it's like someone turned the thermostat down 20 degrees. There's just something about her. The way she scans the place, the questions she asks, everything about her, says she's not here for the friendly neighborly welcome. She wants to know how much money I make, how many customers I have, what my rates are. Not in a nosy old lady way either, more like a predator circling for a weak spot. I try to play it cool, keep things vague, but I can see her doing the math behind her eyes. That afternoon, I call up Marcus. My best friend 3 houses down happens to be a real estate lawyer. Marcus just laughs it off. At first, tells me to relax. She's probably just another Karen on a power trip. Ben, just watch your back. But I've been around the block enough to know this wasn't your usual busybody. This woman was after something. And man, I wish I'd listened harder to that gut feeling. Fast forward a week, and I get a letter 3 pages of legalese so thick you'd think it was a Supreme Court brief. Victoria, through her bargain bin lawyer, tells me the storage facility is out of compliance with new HOA rules, and if I don't shut it down in 30 days, they'll sue. I almost laughed until I realized she'd also started calling my customers one by one, spinning stories about pending lawsuits and county investigations. Within 2 weeks, 40% of my regulars bailed, scared out of their minds. One day, I run into Mrs. Patterson at the grocery store. She's in tears. She tells me Victoria called her, personally said, if she didn't remove her husband's stuff, she could face criminal charges. For antiques. I mean, really. That's when it hit me. Victoria wasn't just trying to mess with me. She was trying to burn the whole place down for her own gain. I confront her right there in the aisle, heart thumping like I'd just run a marathon. She smiles that cold, dead smile and says, Ben, I'm just helping people make informed choices. When I accuse her of spreading lies, she says, prove it. And the thing is, I couldn't. Not yet. Marcus starts digging, finds out Victoria moved to our neighborhood after being evicted for unpaid HOA dues across town. She's got a history of boundary disputes, late fees, all sorts of drama. She's looking for a new source of income, and your business is it? Marcus says. And let me tell you, he was right on the money. The next HOA meeting, Victoria drops her real bombshell. She calls an emergency vote, barely half the board shows up, and she spins this web about protecting the community from my supposedly rogue storage operation. She proposes that the HOA seize control temporarily and let me rent back 1/3 of the space for $800 a month while they review compliance. 4-3, the board passes it. Just like that, I'm paying rent to use my own property. You ever had one of those moments where you're so stunned you just freeze? I walked out of that meeting feeling like the ground had vanished under my feet. My neighbors' folks I'd helped move couches, lent tools, to waved to every morning just handed my business to a woman who couldn't even pronounce Morrison right. The next morning, Victoria shows up with a locksmith and a couple board members. She changes the locks, hands me 1 key for my tiny corner, and gives me a rental agreement to sign. All with that fake motherly tone. It's for the best. Ben, the community needs stability. Yeah, right. And then it just gets weirder. Suddenly my clean, orderly storage units are packed with broken-down furniture, busted appliances, even a jet ski that hasn't run since the Clinton administration. Victoria tells families they can store stuff for free, but what she doesn't say is she's charging them $75 a month in management fees. I'm paying rent, the neighbors are paying her, and she's raking in $400 a month, all for turning my family business into the world's saddest garage sale. Here's where the twist comes in. Helen Winters, a sweet retired teacher who's lived here forever, starts noticing things aren't adding up. She sees Victoria's lifestyle suddenly improving, fancy purses, new car salon hair. Helen asks to see the HOA books. Victoria dodges, gives her the runaround, but Helen's not stupid. She gets her granddaughter to show her how to record conversations, and pretty soon she's got Victoria on tape, bragging about her scam. I'm making $1,400 a month from that idiot Ben's storage. He pays me rent for his own property. I'll clear 30 grand. Easy. When Helen plays me that recording, something in me snaps. I've been patient, I've been polite, but enough's enough. With Marcus's help, we dig into state property laws, and that's when we find the golden ticket abandoned property statutes. All the junk Victoria's cronies dumped in my storage without a contract. Legally, I can serve notice, and after 72 hours, anything left is mine to sell at public auction. We put together ironclad notices, served them to all the families. You have 72 hours to remove your belongings, or they will be considered abandoned. Victoria calls me in a rage, threatens lawsuits, says I'll be arrested. I keep my cool. Victoria, you've got 72 hours. Maybe use that time to explain to the neighborhood where their money went. And of course, nobody moves their stuff. Saturday rolls around and my storage yard turns into the social event of the year, an auction complete with tents, a professional auctioneer, half the neighborhood watching. Victoria's there losing her mind, screaming about stolen property and calling the cops. The sheriff shows up, listens to both sides, and tells her flat out, "Ma'am, Mr. Morrison is conducting a lawful auction on his own land. If you don't leave, you'll be arrested." With Victoria gone, the auction goes off without a hitch. That Mustang sells for 24 grand. Some junk furniture fetches over 4,000 from an antique dealer. Even the broken appliances bring in a few bucks. By noon, I've made $31,000, enough to pay for my troubles and then some. The real fireworks start when the families realize they've been paying Victoria for free storage and all their stuff is gone. Helen, bless her heart, stands up and tells everyone about the recording, how Victoria bragged about scamming all of us. The neighbors are furious, talk about filing charges, demanding their money back, and just like that, Victoria's got a full-blown mutiny on her hands. But karma, as they say, doesn't just knock, it kicks the door down. Marcus finds proof Victoria stole $9,000 from the HOA for personal expenses. The new HOA president, Helen, naturally goes straight to the county prosecutor. Within a week, Victoria's indicted for fraud and embezzlement. She loses her car, her designer lifestyle, and any friends she had left. By the end of it, she's sentenced to jail time, community service, and banned from HOA leadership for life. Meanwhile, Morrison's storage is back and better than ever. Word spreads about how I fought back. New customers show up every week, and I use some of the auction money to upgrade the facility and even start a scholarship fund in my grandfather's name. Our HOA gets real leadership, property values go up, and the community comes together like never before. But you want the real kicker? A few months later, Marcus tells me Victoria's at it again in a new county, new name, same scam. Some folks just don't learn. If you've ever had a Victoria in your life, here's my advice. Don't let fear or politeness keep you from fighting back. Document everything. Get help. And don't buy the lie that you have to accept being walked over. Because sometimes justice isn't just about getting even, it's about making sure the next person knows the truth loud and clear. So, what would you have done? Was I right to fight dirty, or did I stoop to her level? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's hear your stories about standing up to bullies and scammers. Because believe me, this isn't just my story, it's everyone's fight.